Perry doesn't have very many Twitter followers. She only has 28 million Twitter followers. And Oprah doesn't have that large an audience. But what is happening is very profound. It's a brand new world. Even maybe 10 years ago, meditation was thought to be a very strange thing. Mysticism, misunderstandings, and now meditation is almost the norm. And transcendental meditation, because of all the scientific research and the just rise in receptivity for meditation, these two things have just married and taken off. It's a brand new world. It's pretty beautiful.
To the audience present this evening here in Sarajevo, it is very important to know that David Lynch Foundation has been really engaged in so many projects in past decade, I would say. You've been working with such dedication to bring TM into the groups that are considered at the risk. Can you tell us what does this exactly mean?
Well, there's a very great team at the David Lynch Foundation, and they're involved with so many things. First, it started with students. You know, schools everywhere in the world are kind of a joke, a very bad joke. Education has fallen, and there's not a whole lot of learning. There's lots and lots of stress. In many schools, there's violence. In many schools in America, there's metal detectors to go into school, like going into an airport, and it's not a good thing. So it started with students and some of the worst schools, and it was at a time when principals had tried almost everything and nothing was working. And so one very bold principal in San Francisco, Jim Dierke, is a good old boy, not the kind of guy you think would embrace meditation. He said, we've tried everything, got to try this. And he did a lot of research on it. He brought it to his school, and he gave it to the students, the staff, the teachers, and himself. And in about a year, it was a completely different school. And he is the kind of guy that people respect, trust, and he started talking to other principals and other teachers. Teachers started talking to teachers. And this is consciousness-based education, which means it's education that the name really fits the word education to develop the full potential of a student. And it's about time that schools get this idea of education. And they start the day meditating for 15 minutes. Then at the end of the day, they meditate for 15 minutes. Every student sits there meditating. They're experiencing the deepest level of life, unfolding more and more intelligence, creativity, love, happiness, energy. Kids were so tired. They don't get any sleep, and then school is a hell. And now they're getting happier and happier from within. Their grades go up, the fighting stopped, relationships improved between the students and the teachers. It was incredible what happened. And then it moved from schools to Native Americans suffering from diabetes, alcoholism. It moved to the homeless who are living in a world of huge, huge stress and problems. Then it moved to the military, soldiers suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and they've lost their lives, they've lost their families, their life is a nightmare. No one really, they can't really talk about it because it's not a macho thing to say that you're suffering from stress. And yet, you know, the treatments they're given, if they do say they are suffering, they don't seem to work. So they get this meditation, and the world changes, and they say, I've got my life back again, because it comes from within, It's gone to kids with ADHD, ADD, It's his whole study on bipolar now with meditation. There's a lot of things happening, and children, women especially, suffering from abuse and violence, prostitution, and they're suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder. And these girls, they get this meditation, and they're just kind of weeping with joy, because now they can live and get this happiness and all positive things from within, and it changes their life and puts it back on a beautiful, beautiful road.
This is the right time to call our audience to pose you a few questions. I hope they would have some after hearing so many answers you gave in the film Meditation, Creativity, and Peace.
Yeah, I already answered all the questions.
There are some left, I'm sure. Just come closer to the stage and talk to David Lynch. This is one night only chance. David, before we have the first questions coming in, there is another momentum happened with Norman Rosenthal and the book Transcendence that has been and now has added the revised version. So far, the top 100 best-selling books of the New York Times that has a professional perspective of psychiatrists telling and writing about benefits of transcendental meditation. How important is that?
That's very important. You know that there's all different kinds of people in the world, and some people, they hear from a filmmaker, it resonates what they hear. Some people, it's not happening. But if they hear it from a doctor, it's happening for them. And some people, if they hear it from some sports hero, it resonates with them. So Norman Rosenthal, he is a psychiatrist, and he has studied these things. He studied pharmaceutical drugs and saw what they did and what they didn't do. And then he had a patient who just did a kind of a big, beautiful change. And he asked the patient what he was doing. And the guy said that he started transcendental meditation. And that got Norman going. And Norman actually had been, learned transcendental meditation long ago. The patient got Norman back meditating again. And Norman started doing studies. So he wrote the book Transcendence, and many people read this, and it resonated with them, and they said, this is going to help me, or help somebody I love, or help somebody I know.
It's very important for you to know that I will be joined right now by Juliana Davidovic, who is the executive and coordinator of Art House Cinema Kriterion, that made available this screening for free to all interested audience in Sarajevo and, of course, the wider area. And guess what? She has a question for you.
Fantastic. I can't see you very well because you're sort of in the dark at the bottom of the screen.
How are
you doing?
Hi, David. It's a huge pleasure to have you in Kriterion. We just opened before 1 year ago. It's student cinema, so it's madness. It's beautiful atmosphere. It's like, this is like first step that we have in Sarajevo, but is there any chance to host you here in the future? It's a huge question. Next time.
Now we compare slides.
Yeah.
Well, you're so beautiful, you might be a magnet.
There is more beautiful ladies here.
I'm going to get Bobby to book a ticket soon.
Actually excited because we have David Lynch in our screening body. It's a huge thing. We watched a beautiful movie. Actually, today we have a patient in Kriterion. It's just something small, but it's growing, and I think this city needs this kind of education, and maybe in the future to organize more things like this. Harris bring you here. Yeah, and we are waiting you live. Thank you.
Bless your heart. It was great to see you. Great to talk to you.
one and only Vildana Davidovic. A few more questions, but please be quick, come fast. American Expressway. Yeah, we have a guy now approaching us that I'm not able to introduce. He will do it invisible.
Hi, I'm Kemal, and
How you doing?
I would like to ask you how to promote this TM and not to be perceived as sect.
You know, this idea of a sect or religion, these kind of things are disappearing. It's for human beings. It's a mental technique, an ancient form of meditation, and it is a technique to take you to a field deep within that has always and forever been there. And that one of the names of this field is the self. Know thyself. And it's an easy, effortless technique that really works. It's the whole thing, the real thing, and you tell your friends, it is so beautiful. And all they have to do is spend 3 or 4 days to learn. They got this technique for the rest of their life, and their job is just to watch their life get better and better and better.
More questions? Come fast.
Hi David, this is Jens.
Oh, good to see you.
David, Jens from Germany, but just moved to Sarajevo. Well, we just saw this fascinating movie and we saw you answering many interesting questions all over Europe. You gave great answers to many of these questions. But I just wondered if there were moments during that journey when you got questions where you didn't know the answer right away, where maybe weeks later you thought, oh, I should have answered that. Maybe you thought I gave the wrong answer in that moment to that guy. Were there any moments where you would say that was a very difficult question, I failed in that moment? And what was the most difficult question or the most difficult moment during the tourney?
Yeah, there was one time where this little boy stood up and he said, how do you know all this stuff? And it kind of confounded me, and I stared at this little boy, and everybody started laughing, but an answer didn't really come to me. But I would have liked to have told him that most every single answer that I gave came from knowledge that I gained listening to Maharishi, and you know, that every one of us has had teachers that inspired us or gave us important information, important knowledge, and that is Maharishi for me. So most of it comes from Maharishi, and then a little bit comes from personal experience. But that little kid, I didn't have an answer for him right away.
More questions on the way?
Hello.
Can you see me?
I can see you there, yes.
Because I have a long time to talk to you.
Fantastic.
Yeah, my name is Kriterion, and I'm very happy, and I think I'm privileged, as the other people tonight here in Sarajevo, that you organize this premiere of the documentary film here in Sarajevo. We know that you are a man of a good heart, and we can feel it here in Sarajevo. So we send you our love too.
Thank you very much. I send my love to you. Today is a strange day because it's been sunny and sunny and sunny, and now today we've got a lot of clouds and it's pretty gray.
We have very sunny weather here.
Exactly. Exactly. It's coming to be fall. It's going to get cold. Okay. Okay. very much. Thank you. All the best to you. Step up into the camera so I can see you there. Yeah, I can see you now. That's great. I feel, like I said, it's for human beings. And the beautiful thing is, it's for all human beings. Human beings are all capable of diving within and experiencing this field, which is the self. And this field within is a field of infinite peace. Deep, deep, deep contentment, peace. It's a field of infinite love. It's a field of infinite energy and creativity, intelligence, happiness, known as bliss. When people get more and more of this by experiencing this level, they're not so angry. They're not so apt to something else. They're not so apt to go over. It changes things. And it's like transcendental meditation, taking you to this deepest level, is like infusing yourself with gold and seeing the garbage lift away. And it's like in a room that's pitch black, if you have a light on a dimmer switch, you ramp up that light, and the side effect is always darkness starts to decrease. And you turn the light up on full, and there is no more darkness. You get more and more of this from within, there is no more negativity. And so then there was a group, I think it's still going, there was a group of Palestinians that were learning to transcendental meditation, and they were loving it, absolutely loving it. And they'd get together for group meditations, and they did a video of these people. They were so beautiful, what they said about it. And they said it's not against our religion. It's something for human beings, same thing I'm saying. And they said it's so beautiful what it does for life. And then I think some leaders of, said, no, this is against your religion, and they put a lot of pressure to shut down this thing of teaching transcendental meditation. So there are misunderstandings. There is pressure from people with these misunderstandings to go against this. But this is so much for the human being. It does only good for the human beings, and it does ultimately lead to a very, very peaceful, fantastic life. So it's money in the bank, and it's something that we really need to get rid of these misunderstandings and get this to people everywhere, everywhere. Dive within, know thyself, and see things get better and better, and bring happiness to the world, and get rid of this negativity that's killing us. It's killing us in disease, it's killing us in wars, it's killing us all kinds of ways. So it's very important that this beautiful field be enlivened and enjoyed.
Hi, David.
Hi.
My name is
Hi.
Monica.
Malcolm, good to see you.
Great to see
Great.
you. I read your book, Catching the Big Fish 4 months ago.
Oh.
And want to tell you, my dream came true.
So
This
this
is
is
the
the
word
word
constant.
constant
And the word
the
heart.
heart.
So I said
To important
as
as the soldier
of love
of love
is
is
trying to help the people. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good.
I was thinking, have you ever had an initiative to collect more colleagues from the field of art, which could make a group and talk to people and to have an influence, to take the people into this kind of tribe, to work with their conscience, to change their lives? Have you ever had that initiative?
There are a lot of, filmmakers, a lot of people in the film business who have started meditating, but it's very. I feel for myself, people have to come to this on their own free will. It's not a thing that I think it's important to tell people about it. But then, if it resonates and they feel a truth to it, something moves them and they want to start meditating. That's the way it should be. But more and more people are with a voice to big masses of people learning, and they're talking about it, and people are listening, and so more and more people have started transcendental meditation, almost like a big wave of new meditators is occurring in the world. So it's all happening, you say.
It's great because I think tonight, after watching this movie, some people were not prepared to see this. They were prepared to see some cool David Lynch, and I think he changed their minds and hopefully their practice. And I wish that you have some initiative with the other artists to go and to show what you are doing. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you very much.
Maybe, David, we can talk our beloved Laura Dern into the fact that